All right, everybody, how are you doing? Again, I just keep laying these videos down. I hope you are doing well. We are in the segment, we are in chapter 40 of the book of Adam and Eve. And I want to go again real quickly into the book of John. And last time I went and did a couple of verses prior to this. There is confusion, especially in this next section. And I want to make sure that there is no confusion, especially in this next section, that Elohim, Most High, Yahuwah, Yad-Heh, Vod-Heh, is one. He says in Deuteronomy 6, Shema Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim is one, right? And so when we have a misconception or possibly a lie that has been set before us that Yahuwah and Yahushua, or God and Jesus, they say, are the same people, that changes everything, because our Creator did not come down and die. They did not kill our Creator. Let's take a quick look at this just to show the separation of Yahuwah and Yahushua. John 6:38, for I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which sees the Son and believes on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. Verse 46, not that any man has seen the Father, save he which is of Elohim, he has seen the Father. 57, as the living Father has sent me, and I live by the Father, so he that eats me, even he shall live by me. Let's do a couple more here, and I'm going to reiterate these as we go through this, because the last thing I want to do is have seeds of confusion. And so when we're reading these extracurricular books, we have to understand the Bible specifically. Verse 16, Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. He says right there, the Torah is not his, it's his dad's. It's the doctrine. That is his. Yah's doctrine, not Yahushua's. Verse 18, he that speaks of himself seeks his own glory, but he that seeks his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Then cried Yahushua in the temple as he taught, saying, ye both know me, and ye know whence I am, and I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he has sent me. My friends, if Yahuwah was Yahushua, it would say, but I know him, for I am him. Right? Never once in any of these scriptures does it ever say this. And I just wanted to make sure that we know this, so that when we read this stuff, we don't bring out evil. Okay, let's hear it in. Okay, chapter XL. Which is 41, and XL was the size I was in the second grade. Just had to throw that in there. All right. Then the word of Yahuwah came to Adam and said, actually, it's not XL, it's the next one. So we're actually into XLI. So, but when you come to live in this strange land, your animal body, and God withdrew his word from Adam. Sorry, guys. XLI is where we began. Then Adam took the fig and laid it on the golden rods. Eve also took her fig and put it on the incense. And the weight of each fig was that of a watermelon. For the fruit of the garden was much larger than the fruit of this land. But Adam and Eve remained standing and fasting the entirety of that night until the morning dawned. When the sun rose, they were still praying. But after they had finished praying, Adam said to Eve, Eve, come. Let us go to the border of the garden, looking south of the place where the river flows and is parted into 4 heads. There we will pray to Yahuwah and ask him to give us some of the water of life to drink. Adam is still on this. He still doesn't quite get what's happening here. For Yahuwah has not fed us with the tree of life in order that we may not live. Therefore, we will ask him to give us some of the water of life to quench our thirst with it, rather than with a drink of water of this land. When Eve heard these words from Adam, she agreed, and they both got up and came to the southern border of the garden, at the edge of the river of water, a short distance from the garden. And they stood and prayed before Yahuwah, and asked him to look at them, and for this one time to forgive them, and to grant them their request. After this prayer from both of them, Adam began to pray with his voice before Yahuwah, and said, O Yahuwah, O Elohim, when I was in the garden and saw the water that flowed from under the tree of life, my heart did not desire, neither did my body require to drink of it. I did not know thirst, because I was living and above that which I am now. So that in order to live, I did not require any food of life, nor did I need to drink of the water of life. But now, O Yahuwah, I am dead and my flesh is parched with thirst. Give me of this water of life that I may drink of it and live. O Yahuwah, through your mercy, save us from these plagues and trials and bring me into another land different from this. Let me live in your garden. So this is on the author's note. It says one could extrapolate the size of the fruit, knowing that the size of the fig leaves were large enough to fashion loincloths for them. Later, we are told the size of a fig was that of a watermelon. That's some different size stuff here. Okay, so XLI, so this was 42. Then the word of Yahuwah came to Adam and said to him, Adam, you said, bring me into a land where there is rest. Another land than this will not bring you rest. It is the kingdom of heaven alone where there is rest. Okay, so these are these lines that you have to, does this jive with the Torah? Yes. We are expecting and we are hoping, we are praying, we are seeking, we are waiting for our king to arrive. Right? Mount Zion is a city built by the hand of Yah that is going to be coming down, and we're going to be there. We're going to be invited, mostly, hopefully. Hopefully we are. So he says that right there. The kingdom of heaven alone is where there is rest, but you cannot enter into it at present, but only after your judgment is passed and fulfilled. Then will I make you up into the kingdom of heaven, you and your righteous descendants, and I will give you and them the rest you ask for now. And if you said, give me of the water of life that I may drink and live, it cannot be this day. But on the day that I shall descend into hell and break the gates of brass and crush into pieces the kingdoms of iron, then I will, through mercy, save your soul and the souls of the righteous, and thus give them rest in my garden. And this is where we have to understand that Yahuwah is not the one that did that, but the Son of the Most High, which is the delegate, the Son of the Most High, him. It's not him physically, but it is his flesh and blood. It technically kind of him, but it is not him, right? If you kill my son, you're going to kill a piece of me. You're not killing me, right? And that's what we have to look at. Verse 6, then I will, through mercy, save your soul and the souls of the righteous, and thus give them rest in my garden. That shall be when the end of the world is come. And the water of life you seek will not be granted you this day, but on the day that I shall shed my blood on your head in the land of Golgotha. For my blood shall be the water of life to you at that time, and not just to you alone, but to all your descendants who shall believe in me. This will be rest to them for forever. The Lord said again to Adam, Adam, when you were in the garden, these trials did not come to you, but since you transgressed my commandment, all these sufferings have covered you. Now also your flesh requires food and drink. So drink then of that water that flows by you on the face of the earth. Then Yahuwah withdrew his word from Adam. And Adam and Eve worshiped the Lord and worshiped Yahuwah, and returned from the river of water to the cave. It was noon when they drew near to the cave, and they saw a large fire by it. All right, so we are on, what are we on, 42? This is 43. These Roman numerals are going to take me to school, friends. I'm in Common Core. Then Adam and Eve were afraid and stood still. And Adam said to Eve, what is that fire by our cave? We have done nothing in it to cause this fire. We neither have bread to bake nor broth to cook there. We have never known anything like this fire, and we do not know what to call it. But ever since Yahuwah sent the cherub with a sword of fire that flashed in his hand and had lightning coming from it, we fell down and were like corpses from fear, and we have not seen like this. But now, Eve, look, this is the same fire that was in the cherub's hand, which Yahuwah has sent to keep the cave in which we live. Oh, Eve, it is because Yahuwah is angry with us, and will drive us from it. Eve, we have transgressed his commandment again in that cave, so that he has sent this fire to burn around it and prevent us from going into it. If this is really the case, Eve, where shall we live? And where shall we flee to be away from the face of Yahuwah? Since like this it is with the garden, he will not let us live in it. And he has deprived us of the good things of it. But he has placed us in this cave, in which we have endured darkness, tests, and hardships, until the last we have found comfort in it. But now that he has brought us out into another land, who knows what may happen in it? And who knows but that the darkness of that land may be far greater than the darkness of this land? Who knows what may happen in the land by day or by night? And who knows whether it will be far or near? Eve, do you think it will please Yahuwah to put us far from the garden? Eve, where will Yahuwah put us to prevent us from beholding him? because we have transgressed his commandment and because we have made requests of him all the time. Eve, if Yahuwah will bring us into a strange land other than this, in which we find consolation, it must be to put our souls to death and blot out our name from the face of the earth. Oh, Eve, if we are further alienated from the garden and from Yahuwah, where shall we find him again? And ask him to give us gold, incense, and myrrh, and some fruit of the fig tree. Where shall we find him to comfort us a second time? Where shall we find him so that he may think us regarding the covenant he has made on our behalf? Then Adam said nothing else more. And they kept looking, he and Eve, towards the cave and at the fire that flared up around it. But that fire was from Satan, for he had gathered trees and dried grasses and he carried and brought them to the cave and had set fire to them in order to consume the cave and what was in it, so that Adam and Eve should be left in sorrow, and he should cut off their trust in Yahuwah and make them deny him. But by the mercy of Yahuwah, he could not burn the cave, because Yahuwah sent his angel to the cave to guard it from fire until it went out. And this fire lasted from noon until the break of the next day. That was the 45th day. All right, I think this is 44. Adam and Eve stood, looking at the fire, and weren't able to come near the cave from their fear of the fire. And Satan kept on bringing trees and throwing them into the fire until the flames of the fire rose up high and covered the entire cave, thinking in his mind to consume the cave with the great fire. But the angel of Yahuwah was guarding it. But he could not curse Satan, nor wound him by word, because he had no authority over him. Neither did he attempt to do so with words from his mouth. Therefore the angel tolerated him without uttering a bad word against him, until the word of Yahuwah came to Satan, saying, Go away from here at once before you deceive my servants. For this time you seek to destroy them. Were it not for my mercy, I would have destroyed you and your hosts off the earth. But I have had patience with you until the end of the world. Then Hasatan fled from before Yahuwah, but the fire went on burning around the cave like a coal fire the entire day. This was the 46th day that Adam and Eve had spent since they came out of the garden. And when Adam and Eve saw that the heat of the fire had begun to cool down, they started to walk toward the cave to get into it as they usually did, but they could not because of the heat of the fire. Then they both began crying because the fire separated them from the cave, and the fire came toward them burning, and they were afraid. That's my dogs. Then Adam said to Eve, See this fire of which we have a portion? See, we have bad dogs among us. See this fire of which we have a portion within us? It formerly obeyed us, but it no longer does so now, for we have violated the boundaries of creation and changed our condition, and our nature has been altered. But the fire is not changed in its nature, nor altered from its creation. Therefore, it now has power over us, and when we come near it, it scorches our flesh. This is from the author's note. The word of the Lord, Yahuwah, spoke to Hasatan, stating, I have had patience with you until the end of the world. This is a statement spoken in the future and recorded in the past. The precise meaning indicates that the statement was made at or after the end of the world. Very interesting. This interesting thing there. Okay, let's go into 45, and then we shall be done. Then Adam rose and prayed to Yahuwah, saying, This fire has separated us from the cave in which you have commanded us to live, and now we cannot go into it. Then Yahuwah heard Adam and sent him his word, and said, Adam, see this fire? It is different from the flame and heat from the garden and of delights, and the good things in it. When you were under my control, all creatures yielded to you. But after you transgressed my commandment, they all rose up over you. Yahuwah said again to him, Adam, see how Hasatan has exalted you. He has deprived you of the Godhead and of an exalted state like me, and has not kept his word to you, but has ended up to become your enemy. Now, we got to be careful with that word Godhead. That Godhead is the Christian theology of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it's not what Yah is saying here. He's saying that Hasatan said you would be like God. You'd be able to see good and evil. It's not that he would become the Father and the Son or anything of the sort. So, got to be careful here. He is the one who made this fire in which he meant to burn you and Eve. Adam, why has he not kept his agreement with you even one day, but has deprived you of glory that was on you when you obeyed his command? Adam, do you think that he loved you when he made this agreement with you? Do you think that he loved you and wished to raise you on high? No, Adam. He did not do anything out of love for you. He wished to force you to come out of light and into darkness, and from an exalted state to degradation, and from glory to this humble state, from joy to sorrow, and from rest to hunger and fainting. Yahuwah also said to Adam, see this fire kindled by Satan around your cave? See this curious thing that surrounds you? Know that it will surround both of you and your descendants when you obey his command, and he will plague you with fire, and you will go down into hell after you are dead. Then you will experience the burning of this fire that will surround you and your descendants. You will not be delivered from it until my coming. Just as you cannot go into your cave right now because of the great fire around it, a way for you will not be made for you until my word comes on the day my covenant is fulfilled. There is no way for you at present to come from this life to rest until he who is my word comes. So here it is, a separation. He who is my word comes. So this is the first time in the book of Adam and Eve that it distinguishes between the Father and Son. So, and he's going to send his word. Who's his word made flesh? Yahushua, right? That it does not make him Yah. It makes it as the Son following through with his Father's commandments, the word made flesh. Then Yahuwah called to the fire that burned around the cave with his word, that it split itself in half until Adam passed through it. Then the fire parted itself by Yahuwah's orders, and a way was made for Adam, and Yahuwah withdrew his word from Adam. Did I miss a sentence? Where's it at? Where's it? I thought I did.
Talking about my word comes.
My word comes. Not until my word comes. So back there, Nicole said I missed something, which I think I did. So let's go back to this real quick. You will not be delivered from it until my coming, just as you cannot go into your cave right now because of the great fire around it. A way for you will not be made for you until my word comes on the day my covenant is fulfilled. There's no way for you at present to come from this life to rest until he who is my word comes. Okay, that makes sense. Then he will make a way for you, and you shall have rest. Okay, so this clarifies a tremendous amount of the stuff that I'm trying to explain to you might be iffy if you don't understand this. So Yahushua is coming, right? Yah is sending his son Yahushua. And that's what we want to get with this. All right, so I think this is going to be it. I don't know so much as I am going to be doing this again. Shabbat is almost over. It might be tomorrow before I get another chapter or so out. But I hope you guys have had fun. I hope my reading is okay. I'm sorry for the distractions. And I hope you guys are in the Torah. Much love to everybody out there.